Good morning children. Welcome back to English class. This is SA1 Revision class children. So you all know that from January 4th onwards we have SA1 exams, right? That's why from today onwards we'll revise our lessons once. I think you already know about portion also. What is our SA1 portion children? We have total 3 units. But make sure of the numbers children. We have first unit, second unit and fifth unit. Understood children? We have first unit, second unit and fifth unit. Third and fourth units are not there children. We haven't discussed the lessons also because those 2 units are excluded from the syllabus by the government itself, right? So for SA1 exam, you need to prepare first unit, second unit, fifth unit. Make a note and prepare well for exams children. From today onwards, first we'll start fifth unit children. Later we'll discuss second and one like that. Right? So open your textbooks, workbooks, page number 132. Fifth unit. What are the 3 readings children? First one, the treasure within part 1. Second one, the treasure within part 2. Third one, they literally build the nation. Right? So coming to the question paper pattern children, as it was in FA1 and grand test, like that only it will be there. So you need to learn all, okay, comprehension, finding errors, conventions of writing, fill in the blanks, creative writing, like that only it will be. You need to learn all the meanings because synonyms will be asked in exam, right? Okay, antonyms, everything you need to learn. In that way only we'll revise once. Coming to this A reading from 5th unit, the treasure within part 1. Meanings are there in the page number 132. You must know the meanings children. It will be always very useful. See here, meanings are given in the form of nouns and verbs. We'll discuss few here. For example, nightmare, which is a noun. Nightmare means noun. So nightmare means what? A terrible dream. Sometimes we get nightmares, right? For example, if we see any horrible movies, horror movies, on that night we get these nightmares. Or else if we are frightened of anything, afraid of anything, we get nightmares, right? So like that, frightened dream, a terrible dream, that is called as nightmare, which is a noun. Next, academics. Academics means what? Educational matters, which includes books, studies, discussions, etc. So all these are nouns children. Read all those nouns. Next one, coming to the verbs. So here threatened. Threatened means what? To be in a danger, which is a action word. That's why it's a verb. Okay. See this one children, book. Actually book can be noun and verb. Okay, so that's what I told you children, right? While referring the dictionary, you need to understand this one. If it is noun, in dictionary it will be given an, and if it is verb, it will be given the. So book, this word can be used as noun and verb as well. So noun means, we know that, right? Books, we are talking about our educational books, maybe story books or any other books. So that is a noun in that case. Another case, in case of verb, book. Book means what? Here, trying to book something. Book tickets, reserve, reservation. Okay, in that case, we can use that. Book the tickets for the movie, or else book the tickets for airplane. Like that. In that case, it becomes verb. So here, offer to buy in advance. Okay, so for movies or trains or aeroplanes, in advance itself, that means before itself only we buy the tickets. That is called as book. Even some places you can observe booking counter. That means what? We are trying to buy something in advance. In that case, it is a verb. So you must know which is a noun and which is a verb. Right? Yes. Next here we'll discuss few questions children. I think you remember the lesson. So what is the lesson is about? It is in the form of interview, right? Interview between, okay, Baylor Raza and Hafiz contractor, who is a famous architect, right? So coming to the questions, what nightmare did Hafiz have? So what type of nightmares he used to get when he was a child? Hafiz used to get nightmares about appearing for a maths exam and knowing nothing to write. From his childhood onwards, he was not that much good at education, right? Up to his first or second class, he was a very good boy, but later somehow he lost interest in education, right? That's why he was not able to concentrate anything, especially he was very poor in mathematics. So that's why about maths exam only he used to get nightmares. So what he used to imagine that, so he was appearing for the exam but he didn't know anything in the question paper, he was not able to write anything. Those kind of nightmares he used to get. As a child he was an unruly boy with no interest in academics and dreaded maths. Okay, so that's what, as he was not having interest, as he was afraid of maths, he used to get nightmares related to math subjects. In that way you need to write, children. So always you should remember the lesson, children. You must understand the lesson, then you must be able to express your answer in your own words. So English is all about writing on your own. Okay, you need not to mug up, you should know the concept. That is very, very important. Okay, next. Second one, which words of the principal influenced by Hafiz deeply? Okay, so when he entered into the plus 2, that means after completion of 10th class, so he was doing intermediate. One day what happened? His principal called him, right? So later only, like the lifestyle of Hafiz was completely changed. That means the words said by the principal influenced him a lot. So what were those words? The principal told him how his mother toiled hard to bring him up after his father's death. Actually, when he was a child itself, he lost his father. Then who brought him up? His mother. She toiled. Toiled means here she worked hard to bring him up. Okay, she paid all the school fees. So that's what. So principal reminded him. Okay, next, he made him realize his responsibility. He advised to give up sports. Give up means here leave. Leave. So we know that, right? Hafiz was always interested in sports and games. He always used to spend most of the time in the playground. Even he was used to be the captain of cricket team like that. But as per the advice from the headmaster, he left everything. So headmaster told him to give up sports and games and work hard towards his studies. Okay, so he told him to concentrate only on studies. The loving words had a deep impact on Hafiz and he decided to turn over a new leaf and started taking academics seriously. So the words said by the principal were having great impact on the mind of Hafiz. From that moment onwards, he wanted to give up everything and wanted to start a new life. So that's called as a new leaf by concentrating on the academics only. Okay, like this, children, read out the questions. Okay, next turn the page. Coming to the second part, the treasure within, part 2. So in this we have seen about his career, how he became an architect, how he got the opportunity and how he was able to tackle everything that we have seen in this lesson, right? Here also meanings are given. So nouns and verb forms are there. Read, learn all these meanings, children. For example, if you take this one, architecture, which is a noun. What is the meaning of architecture? The art and study of designing buildings. So what is the job of an architect? Designing the buildings. So he studies about the designs and of course he will be able to design buildings for us. Okay, coming to verbs. For example, if you see this one, stumbled on. Actually, stumbled on is a phrasal verb, children. What are phrasal verbs? Verbs followed by prepositions are called as phrasal verbs. Okay, stumbled, verb. On, preposition. So prepositions followed by like verbs are called as phrasal verbs. What is the meaning of stumbled on here? Got into by chance. Okay, so he was Hafiz. He got into architecture by chance. That means what? By luck. He never thought of that. Okay, he didn't expect that. Suddenly his life had taken a new mode. Okay, that's what? Unexpectedly. Coming to adverbs. What are adverbs, children? Adverbs describes verbs. Okay, instinctively. Instinctively means naturally. Next, spontaneously. Spontaneously means not planned. Only one adjective is there. What is that? Offbeat. Offbeat means unusual. Okay. Let us see here also few questions. Why couldn't Hafiz join either the police or the army? So what was his wish? Hafiz wanted to become a police officer, or else he wanted to join army, but he couldn't do that. What was the reason for that? What happened? Hafiz could not join the army or police as his mother and aunt were against him. Okay, so his mother, she told him to not become police. Even he got a letter from army, but his aunt tore that. So his mother and aunt were against that. That's why. So they were against of these two professions. He had even got an admission letter for the army, but his aunt had torn the letter. Later he wanted to join the police, but instead his mother advised him to do graduation. Right, children? That's why. Okay. Next one. What made Hafiz become an architect? So how it was happened? Hafiz had never planned to become an architect. So he had never planned that. But he believed that his fate guided him to take up that job. So fate means destiny. So it was his destiny. Because of that only he was into that profession by chance. Hafiz used to learn French from his cousin at her husband's office. So in the college, when he has taken up the graduation course, so he has to learn French, but he don't know anything, even though he had learned for few years. That's why again he wanted to learn that. So he planned for that. He went to his cousin's husband's office to learn French. Her cousin's husband, who was an architect by profession, found his intrinsic talent in architecture and advised him to study architecture. So there what happened, one person, he was drawing some designs. Hafiz saw that and he told that there was a mistake. So the plan made by him, if that is the case, the window cannot be opened. That was said by Hafiz. By seeing that, okay, his cousin's husband, he felt surprised and he recognized the talent of Hafiz. He only advised to leave everything and just join the architect course. Okay, so like that it was happened. So this was all about this one, children. Next one, what is the next reading? C reading. It was about they literally built the nation, right? Yes, children, before that there is one question. Page number 141. Just look at that. Listen to a comparing script prepared by a student on the occasion of Teachers' Day celebrations and answer the following questions. This one we have already done that. So comparing means what? Anchoring script. Okay, we have done this. Not only this, even your 6th class and 7th class we have learned how to write a comparing script. Okay, so anchor for any program, how it can be organized, what could be the dialogues. So read this one, children. It's very important to know the format. Okay. So third reading, they literally build the nation. Here also meanings, learn the meanings. Coming to the nouns, so here only nouns and adjectives are given. So client, who is a client? Client means customer. Procurement, this word is important, children, you must know this. So procurement means obtaining the required material. Procurement means obtaining the required material. Coming to adjective, for example, Stringent. Stringent means very strict. Stringent means very strict. Like this. And this one also important, children, multifaceted. That means what? Having many faces or branches. So here few questions are given as well. What are the different constructions planned by civil engineers? We have seen this in the lesson, right? So many things will be done by them. For example, civil engineers plan and construct highways, airports, harbors, bridges, tunnels and dams across the rivers. They plan and construct sewage disposal schemes. They design traffic flow, planning roadway geometry, microwave towers, pipelines for water supply, oil and gas supply, small residential buildings and multi-storied buildings. So these all will be designed by civil engineers. That's why they are very, very important. Okay, like that. See this fourth question also, children. How do civil engineers guide the clients? Nowadays, civil engineers are expected to stay with the clients and guide them through the approval and construction process while offering strategies, advice and experience. So like this you need to learn. Next, page number 154, 155. So again, anchoring scripts are there. Just have a look. Coming to page number 156, there is one question. Third question. Look at the picture carefully and write a paragraph of 100 words. So you know about picture description, right? So by observing this paragraph, what can you understand or what did you understand? You need to write about that. Next one, write an essay on the topic child labor. So from second unit, we have discussed so many things about child labor, right? Which is an offense. And there are so many NGOs, that means non-governmental organizations who take care of these children. So you must write an essay about it. First you need to say who are called as child labor. What are the possible reasons and why they are becoming like that. Okay, and how they are suffering or facing the problems. And the people who are taking care of them. And as a person, so as a citizen of our country, what you need to do from your end to eradicate this child labor. What kind of facilities or helping hand can be given to this child labor. About all these, you need to write in the form of an essay. So always essay means, you should remember children, first one introduction part. So just you need to give a brief introduction about that in 1 or 2 lines. Next one, describe that. And last one, it must be conclusion. In that pattern, write the essay writing. Okay, so that's all for today, children. In our next class, we'll be discussing remaining part. So we have very short period. 3 units are there. Prepare well. In this format only, read everything. In the next class, we'll finish the remaining part. Thank you.